GW is in the center of career opportunities in economic consulting, federal and state agencies, non-governmental organizations. One of our more popular locations for our students is the World Bank and the IMF, the whole World Bank group. We have dozens of graduate programs and certificates. We have professional schools of law, medicine, public health, business, engineering, and applied sciences, and public policy administration. We are a full university. We also have an internationally respected and recognized faculty, academic programs, and research initiatives, and we are a member of the American Association of Universities. We are in the Foggy Bottom area of Washington, D.C. The arrow points to our main campus. To your left is the Potomac River. The National Airport is just down the way there. To the right is the World Bank IMF. I can't see them from my window, but I could, if I had a little rock, I could throw it and hit them. That's one of the great features we have, is that we've got all of these great working places right near us. It's a real international community enhanced by all of these institutions that are here. Take our virtual tour if you would like to see a little bit more about our campus. My name is Joanne Weiner, and I'm the founding director of our Applied Economics Master's program. We're celebrating our 10th year. This year, we're going to have a big party in April, recognizing all of the accomplishments over the past decade. I have a master's of an MA and a PhD in economics from Harvard University, and a bachelor's in business administration from the University of California at Berkeley. I've worked at the U.S. Treasury Department, the European Commission in Brussels, and a couple of different Federal Reserve banks, as well as in the private sector. In addition to being your academic advisor as director, I am also your professor for your required microeconomics class. Why study applied econ at GW? Our program. We are a Homeland Security STEM designated degree program. That means that international students can get up to 3 years of work entitled up to 3 years of work through optional practical training after completing your studies. Our program requires just 30 academic credits, 10 courses, and most students complete their degree in less than 2 years. We have dynamic professors with real world experience. That's a big benefit to studying applied economics at GW, is that our professors are out there working in the field, and they come and teach our students all of the tricks of the trade. Students may simultaneously study for a graduate certificate in areas such as data science, business analytics, and more. That's a real boon, real benefit of being in our program. We also offer a lot of free things to our students, a workshop in communications and oral and written communications, coding, Stata, R, Python, Tableau, GitHub. I actually took our Python course a couple months ago and learned so much. It was great. I figured that the more coding languages that our students learn, the better off they are. And as I'll discuss later, our program is a university partner with the World Bank's Data Lab that allows our students to collaborate in person with World Bank economists. Again, being right next to the World Bank facilitates this kind of collaboration. Our people is another reason to study applied econ at GW. During their exit interviews, which I try to give to all of our graduating students, our graduates report that their classmates were really the best part of the program. Why is that? It's because everyone, we work together, we study together, we have a group of students who are outgoing and some students are less outgoing, but everyone fits in and everyone is really welcome as part of our program. This collaborative spirit enhances their education and stimulates them to expand their intellectual pursuits. I would point out that in an era of increasingly online and remote participation in events, being able to actually get together in person and actually create those connections makes a world of difference in people's careers and outcomes. Due to their compassion for our students and their extensive real-world experience, our professors consistently receive top evaluations from our students. I review them and I say, wow, you guys are great. And finally, our leadership team works diligently to gain feedback from students and our professors so that we can improve the applied econ program. Although I've been the director for 10 years, although I was on sabbatical last year, it's the feedback from the students and professors who have really made the program as the top-notch program that it is today. That's what we care about, what you think, and we incorporate your suggestions into our program. Finally, of course, you're not going to be a graduate student forever. You do go out and get a job, and we have great career outcomes for our students. The homepage on our website lists some of the locations where our students are working, but it's the whole the whole set of acronyms that are prevalent in Washington: IMF, CBO, SBA, FDIC, the National County of Commissioners, consulting companies like Bates White and Compass Lexicon and Econ One, regulatory firms, non-governmental organizations like the Brookings Institution, and you name it, and we probably have a student there. Oh, and the Federal Reserve banks, of course, we also send them there. Many of our students also return to their home countries after they're earning their degree here and then get a promotion for that. We also have a very active alumni network via LinkedIn. That is restricted to students who actually enroll in the program, so that we have this close-knit group where people can then see what they're doing and communicate with one another. It's really great. Oh, by the way, we also provide departmental funding for working as a research assistant and for internships. That's another benefit of being here. So let me go to the key features of our Master of Science degree in Applied Economics. All of this information is on our website in case you want to find more information after our session here. So, program basics. MS degree requires just 30 credits, 10 courses. We have 6 core courses and 4 elective courses, 3 credits each. Classes meet once a week, primarily in the evening. This facilitates students who may be working full-time while they're studying or part-time. Full-time students generally complete the program in 3 semesters plus 1 summer session, or they may decide that they want to accelerate things and finish it in just 1 calendar year and double up on their courses, take 4 courses a semester and then 2 in the summer. Many of our students, though, do work on or off campus while studying for their degree. We have a gigantic campus here. As Kate mentioned at the beginning, we've got, thousands of students on campus and hundreds of faculty members. A lot of these faculty members look for students to help them with their work. Students can work on campus from the day they start studying at GW. Many students also study for a graduate certificate in areas such as data science or environmental resource policy and business analytics while earning their master's degree. So a list of some of our courses. The first 6 in the first column are our basic core courses. Macro, micro, which I teach, econometrics, time series, probably in stats, and math for economists is our 6th course, not listed there. But we also have a number of electives in applied economics, ranging from machine learning with Python or R for economics, quantitative risk management, applied behavioral economics, decision-making and data analytics, financial derivatives, international trade theory and policy, and international finance. We also offer courses at several of our business schools, our professional schools, excuse me. Students may take courses in the School of Public Health, the Business School, Engineering and Applied Science, and in our Trachtenberg School of Public Policy and Public Administration. So when you combine the courses that we offer in the economics department and in the Applied Econ program with these courses in these 4 professional schools, you can see that our students have the option that there's hundreds of courses that you can take to apply towards your applied economics degree. Admissions information. I also want to mention that all of our courses are taught in person, except for we have stats online in the spring, and we also offer math online in the summer. But we are an online, an in-person program. We were only online during, of course, the COVID period. Admissions prerequisites: a B grade in macro and microeconomics, at least a B- grade in college level calculus, a minimum 3.0 cumulative GPA from your undergraduate institution, a personal statement of from 500 to 1,000 words, and then 2 letters of recommendation from employers if you're working or been out of school for a while, and or your professors. The best letter is one that's going to be from someone who knows you. And I recommend that when you ask someone for a letter, that you offer to sit down with them and explain why it is that you want to go to graduate school, what it is that you would like to study, and so on and so forth. I will tell you, rather embarrassingly, that I sometimes get letters from people. It's clear they don't know the person they're writing a letter for. Try to not get a letter from that person. It's much better to get a letter from someone who knows you. We do not require the GRE scores. You do not need to submit them. In fact, I tell people we don't require them. And so we don't even want to see them from students. We don't want the implication to be that students who did not submit GRE scores don't have good scores, so we just don't want them at all. We evaluate the full application as part of the admissions process. There's no need to send in a preliminary question saying, hey, here's my transcript and my personal statement. Am I going to get in? Submit everything through the formal process, and then we evaluate the full application. If you don't meet some of the prerequisites, please email the director, that's me, to explain your situation and then include that information in your statement. So we find that many students may not have had a college level calculus class. Suppose that they studied a non-quantitative degree in college. Well, I would advise that person to take a course before they begin the program, and then just mention that in the letter so that the admissions team knows that although you don't formally meet the prerequisite, you are working toward meeting that requirement. Admissions dates to start in the fall semester, February 1st has passed, but that's our deadline to be considered for financial awards. April 1st for the general application deadline. I will say, and if you're applying to start in January, you should apply by October 1st. We admit students equally for both the fall and the spring. So, and the programs are identical in the fall and the spring. So there's no difference between saying, I'm graduating in June, I'm not ready to start graduate school already in the fall, but I'd love to start in January. Take 6 months off to go and refresh everything and then get a clean start, a fresh start in graduate school in January. In terms of the deadlines, we are flexible on the deadlines depending upon our enrollment. And also if April 1st comes and goes and you realize that you didn't get everything completed, go ahead and submit it. We will accept them for quite a while. And the only limitation would be that for international students, there are visa issues and it can take time to get the visa. So don't delay that at all if you're an international student. So a little bit about tuition fees and health insurance. We charge tuition by the credit hour, so you only pay for the classes you take. It's not like an undergraduate where you may have paid an annual, a tuition, and then you can take as many courses as you want. At the moment, our fee per credit hour is $2,020. So for students taking 3 classes, tuition per semester will be $18,180, and total tuition for our program will equal just over $60,000. Students also need to pay certain fees, and you must have health insurance coverage while studying at GW. You may request a waiver if you have an existing plan, but the point is that we want everyone to have health insurance, and we want everyone to know the overall fees of the program. So we estimate that living, book, and insurance expenses per year total about $24,000, and tuition is in addition to that. More information about all these are on the links here. Don't worry if you don't get them. These slides are available after my presentation. So let me talk about financial assistance and awards. What kind of help can we give you to meet your financial needs at the university? So we have awards. All you need to do is check the box on the application. There's nothing more you need to do, and you may get an award in the form of a tuition reduction, academic credit, Global Leaders Award, the Minority Serving Institution Award, and Dean's Award. We grant these awards primarily on merit, but also on other factors. And I want to emphasize that these awards do not cover full tuition and other expenses. Our master's students are not eligible for graduate assistantships. Those are directed towards the PhD students. For more information, of course, you can go to our website and look at funding opportunities for new students. The Global Leaders and Minority Serving Institution Awards are ones designated for certain categories of student. If you are a student studying on an F1 visa from the countries listed on this slide, you are eligible for a renewable tuition award. Again, these awards will not cover all of your tuition, but we do have this incentive to attract students from the countries listed here to choose to come and study at GW. If you are attending or a recent graduate of a minority serving institution, then you also are eligible for certain awards from us. Local universities in the DC area include Howard University, Morgan State, and the University of the District of Columbia. But for a whole list of them, you can go to our website and look at the Minority Serving Institution Award page. Additional sources of financial support include Dean's Awards. These are awards that are granted by our dean, and may be in the form of tuition credits or a financial amount. Students may also work on campus. You may do that through a position found through our student employment services, and All students, including international students, may start working on campus from the day they start their studies. There's not the requirement that applies to off-campus work for international students. So those are great ways to earn a little bit of money. They pay on an hourly basis. Again, you won't be able to work enough hours to fund your full tuition, but you can at least help cover some of your expenses there. A lot of our students also work through the statistical consultants in the academic commons, or they work as tutors. And as a tutor, you can charge whatever rate the market will bear, and those sometimes can be pretty high hourly wages. We also have some funding through the Department of Economics. The main source of funding that we provide to our master's students is to offer a position as a research assistant for one of our economics professors or to work as a grader for the department. These again are paid at an hourly basis, and students can earn a couple $1,000s, up to a couple $1,000s each semester in working as an RA. So again, we do as much as we can to help students fund their programs, but you will need to provide a lot of your own support towards your education here at GW. We award these positions as RAs or graders after students have enrolled. I often get emails from people who inquire about what they need to do to get one of these positions. All you need to do is enroll. And then after you're enrolled, express an interest in working in one of these positions. If you are a current GW student or a very recent graduate, the grad to grad program gives you a 10% tuition reduction. So that's like getting one free course. So you're eligible as long as you enroll no later than 1 year after earning your bachelor's degree. So if you are graduating from GW this spring, you must enroll either in the fall or by spring 2026, January 2026, to get that 10% discount. If you're an MITx credential holder from the Data Economics and Design of Policy MicroMasters at MIT, we have a particularly attractive benefit for you, which is that we will offer you credit at GW for 2 of the courses that you took as part of earning the credential at MITx. So that's, again, that'll reduce your tuition by 20%, or more than $12,000 if you're an MITx credential holder. If you're interested in the MITx credential, I encourage you to first go to our web page where we talk about that credential, but then also go to the MITx page and learn all the details about that program. I actually did a webinar with them earlier today, talking about GW's pathway as being a pathway program from the MITx credential to GW. So it's a great program. So you'll accelerate your degree at a lower cost. That's the essentials about our program and financial awards. Now let me talk a little bit about our faculty, our graduate assistants, and then show you some slides of our students. Our faculty, we have a really tremendous group of faculty. In the 10 years of our program, we have 2 professors and me who've been here for the full 10 years. Most of our professors are here for the long term. They love teaching our students. And the group here is a combination of our professors, some of their spouses, me over in the right in the blue, and then our graduate teaching assistants are on the far left hand side. This is actually my backyard up in Northwest DC. And the caption to this photo identifies a little bit about where our professors work. They're a really talented group. I love them. Our graduate assistants, I love them too. We have 4 graduate assistants who work with our program to help you learn the material. It's a really great team. The woman to my left, Dong Hao Wu, she's now the head TA, and the other 3 are work with her. So we have a team of graduate assistants that work for the program, and they help you they grade the problem sets, they help you do the homework, they help with the coding, programming workshops, and anything else that you might need to help learn material. This is a wonderful feature that I know that not all programs in applied economics offer such a tremendous resource to their students. And finally, I am going to talk a little bit about our students. This is a group that is students that started a couple of years ago. I'm over there in the blue dress. And most of these students have graduated. and most of them are actually working in the local area. We have welcoming receptions every semester for our new students, both so they can meet each other and so that they can meet the alumni. Typically after the orientation session with me, everyone heads out and goes to a local restaurant and just socializes. So our students, we enroll about 30 to 40 students in the program each year. We're a relatively small program. You may start in either the fall or spring and complete in the fall, spring, or summer. Our students come from dozens of countries. I've listed a few of them there. Kazakhstan, Thailand, Cambodia, Nigeria, the UK, China, Belgium, Norway, Iceland, Peru, Nepal, India, Pakistan. It's been great to have these students. And by the way, when I was on sabbatical last year in London, I met up with two of our students who were two of our graduates who were living there, one from Turkey and one from Belgium, and another third one from Kuwait. So I try to keep in touch with our alumni. Many of our students have work experience before they begin studying, but many start right after undergraduate. It's all the same to us. I do tend to like students who've worked a little bit before they begin graduate studies, but a lot of students say, well, hey, I really need those skills that I'll develop in your program. So let me get the skills and then go out and get my job. That's a great plan as well. Most of our students actually studied economics or business as undergrads, but many have done their studies in engineering, political science, journalism, history, and much more. There's no requirement on your degree. Our students and alumni have a very active network, including our LinkedIn group. They have a Slack channel and WhatsApp groups. They're always getting together and doing things. They really have a lot of fun. We are in the 10th year of our program, and we've graduated more than 250 students since we launched in the fall of 2015. Let me talk a bit about additional initiatives. For those who know Washington, that is the World Bank headquarters, the World Bank Group's headquarters. It's a stone's throw away from where I'm sitting. One of the things I'm really proud of and really happy to have in our program is the ability for our students to work with the World Bank economist through the World Bank's Data Lab. We are the only school in the DC area that's a partner with the Data Lab. And not only that, there's only one other school in the US that's a partner. They're out in California, and the third school is in London. So this is it's not unique because there are two others, but it's a really great feature of our program. And we're the only one in Washington that has it. Our students have the chance to go work directly on a problem, a real world problem with World Bank researchers. I lead the data lab. I met with my students earlier this week on Tuesday. They all talked about their projects, and they're working on things like, what's the impact of power shortages on labor productivity in sub-Saharan Africa? What is the impact of infrastructure on transportation in getting fertilizer across border to help grow crops in African countries? How effective are the various climate change policies that countries pursue in terms of leading to reduced carbon emissions around the world? That's a study that students are doing. They're examining the policies in 182 countries. Most of them are using machine learning and big data skills as part of evaluating their data, but it's just so exciting for them to actually be able to work on a real job, a real data with an economist at the bank. Working with these teams, and we collaborate very closely with the data science program on this. So the applied econ students and the data science students, many of them form teams. And by having a team, each type of student, whether data science or applied econ, brings their particular set of skills to solving the problem. And so everyone is much better off. This is win-win all around. I mentioned earlier about the ability to earn a graduate certificate along with your master's degree. Once you've enrolled in the program, you may apply for dual enrollment. You don't have to separately apply for a graduate certificate. You do that after you start. And by choosing one of the fields of listed here, environmental, accountancy, and so on, you can earn a graduate certificate at the same time as you get your master's. Not only that, you can cross credit 2 of your certificate courses towards your master's degree, thus earning both degrees, 2 degrees for basically the price of 1.5. So instead of taking 10 courses for the master's and 4 for the certificate, you apply 2 certificate to the master's, so you take 12 classes instead of 14. That's a $12,000 cost savings for the 2 degrees. Additional resources, I like to give our students the biggest bang for the buck that I can. And I do that by trying to find ways to offer you good things for free. So we have a free oral and written communications workshop where you can develop communication skills. These are the soft skills that a lot of people don't realize are so important out in the working world. You have to be able to communicate your idea, and you have to be able to communicate it in many different manners. Some will be doing an oral presentation like I'm doing now. Others may be just through a PowerPoint, as you're observing on this screen. But this is something that other organizations would charge you a couple $1,000s to obtain. We offer it to you for free. We also have a full academic commons here at GW that offers through the Data and Technology Lab, free software and programming workshops in languages such as R, Python, Stata, GitHub, JavaScript. I actually took a GitHub course the other day, and I really think it's a great way to share coding across people who are contributing to the same code. The data science students know this kind of stuff like the back of their hand, and our students are quickly going to be joining them there. We also have a full staff set of library resources, state-of-the-art computer lab at the library. We have access through our various network to all of the academic resources, databases that you may wish to use. That comes as being a GW student. And in addition, we are a member of the consortium of local universities. So if by chance you can't find a course at GW that you want to take, you can apply to take one over at one of the half dozen other universities in the area that offer the course that you wish to pursue. I will close with, before just open it for question and answer, let me talk a little bit about careers in applied economics. The photo there is taken in the courtyard just outside outside the economics department. It was in the spring of 2022. I'm actually meeting later on today with the man in front. They all have big smiles, so I can't say they want the big smile, but he is spearheading our alumni contribution to our event, our 10-year celebration coming up in April. So our career services office helps you in your career search and building your professional network. We have a career readiness plan to help you prepare for your career, improve your resume and cover letter. We use the Handshake platform to provide job listings, resume writing help, skill assessment, employer events, and more. Our student employment services identifies on-campus positions in various departments and programs. And our Applied Economics Network helps you connect with alumni and expand your post-GW career. One of the great things that I love about our alumni is that they are always giving back to our program. So for example, today at 4 o'clock, one of our recent graduates who's been at the IMF for the past 4 years or so and has had several positions is going to talk about how he moved from being a student in the applied econ program to getting a job in the private sector and then moving into the IMF. He'll be here answering people's questions, and it's just great. Next week, I am participating in a broader career talk to give advice more broadly to students about how to get the job and to provide some of the tips and suggestions that I have found are effective for our students. So what do our students do after they graduate? They go to work. A list here, you can read it yourself, but Compass Lexicon, Econ 1, Brookings Institution, Edgeworth Economics, Bates White, and all of the whole set of acronyms that you can see listed here. Many of them are in the US, the federal government, FCC, SBA, BEA, CBO, and others. Many of our students do decide to pursue additional graduate studies after earning their master's degree, and it may be a PhD in economics, government, business, or public policy. And a lot of them go back home and return to their previous employer, but with a promotion in hand for having earned their degree. Other things that we have at GW that we have the Capital Bike Share system. We have a discounted rate for using the bike sharing. I ride the bike all the time, and it's flat here in Washington, so it's really great to get around, and there are dedicated bike lanes. We have a subsidized Metro Pass, which allows you to ride the Metro as many times as you like for a very low rate. Again, GW really tries to do what we can to help our students. And I will say in the more than 10 years that I've been here, actually almost 20 years, I am so impressed with the kind of resources and the care that everyone involved in the education system here provides to their students. So that is the end of what I have to say. You can reach out to me. Use the general email address appliedecon@gwvu.edu. Those emails will get forwarded to me. If you have questions about the application process, there are two addresses you can use: askccas@gwu.edu or gradccas@gwu.edu. CCAS, if I neglected to mention it, stands for the Columbian College of Arts and Sciences. That's where the economics department and many others are located. The photo there is right at Kogan Plaza, just beyond the main fountain outside my office. So thank you very much, and I look forward to answering any questions you may have about our program, Washington, or life in general.